Hello and welcome to today's video. So this time we're taking a look at the Exeter Toy and Train Fair. Now this time, for the first time, it's at the Matford Centre. It used to be at West Point. And once again, I'm joined by my friend Andy.
Hello.
Hello, and thanks for joining us, Andy, for coming along. And we're going to give our words of wisdom on the new Matford Toy Fair, which is on a Saturday rather than a Sunday.
Yeah, that's right.
So first impression then, what did you think of the venue?
Quite good. Not as roomy as the old West Point. It was a bit more crowded in between the aisles.
Yeah.
It's used as a cattle auction centre as well, so it did have a certain
Odour,
agricultural aroma in certain parts of the building.
I just slipped this in. I finally got to meet Dave from Channel Toy Polloi, the toy restorer. So you may have seen Dave walking around, and we finally got to meet up and we swapped goodies there. Fantastic to meet Dave in the flesh. Very nice chap indeed. So, hello, Dave, if you're watching this one. Good to meet up with you. But yeah, like you're saying, it's usually a cattle market, isn't it? It literally is a cattle market.
Yes.
Yeah. So there was a hint of, what do they call it, livestock?
Yeah, it's in certain parts, yeah, but not overpowering, you know. No. It was okay.
It was all right,
It
yeah.
was okay.
But like you say, it was a little bit dark, the lighting could have been a bit better.
Yeah.
And there was space. They could have
stretched it out a little bit.
Yeah.
There were corners unused.
But maybe they weren't sure how many people were going to turn up and things like that. It was their first time, so we'll give it. We'll let them off that. And we've got the dates for the next 3, haven't we?
Yes.
To the end of the year.
Yes,
so,
that's right.
Some quite good stalls straight off the bat here.
Yeah, the 60s Sabutio set there.
That was quite nice, wasn't it? Yeah, big old set. And I didn't see it at the end, so I think someone actually bought that one.
Oh, right.
A few of these dealers I recognise from West Point.
Yeah.
Some of them were brand new,
Yeah.
to me anyway. And some of the notable ones that we usually like to enjoy weren't there at all.
No, indeed. Maybe they had other shows on.
Yeah, and it being a Saturday, some of them have got stores.
Maybe so.
And Saturday's traditionally the busiest day.
Yeah.
This was 1 week traditionally before payday. And once again, I wondered how things are going to affect the attendance, but there was quite a queue again to come in.
There was.
And it seemed fairly busy right till when we left,
Yeah,
wasn't it,
I was chatting to one of the dealers, because we got in normal time about half past.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
half 10.
Half 10. There was an early bird entry from 8:30, and apparently it was quite busy. Yeah.
We really
at
even the early bird, yeah.
There were people. Obviously, people who go in that time know what they want, and they're selling to trade as well.
Oh,
and
true, yeah.
He said, he did all right early on. It was busy.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. I did buy a few bits off this store. I got the Jim Clark book, which was briefly there. Yeah. Jim Clark at the wheel.
We'll see some of our purchases later.
We will indeed, yeah. So we've actually filmed what we've picked up this time round, both Andy and I. Because we're actually doing this, we've edited it, and we're doing the commentary literally on the day of the fair.
Yep.
We managed to squeeze it all in through time constraints. It was we had to sort of strike while the iron was hot.
Yeah, we got on about 2.5 hours ago.
Yeah, so we've really been caning it. But from our point of view, if you were looking at it from like a TV and film collector's point of view, there wasn't so much there this time round.
Not vintage, other than die-cast. There's Chitty Chitty Bang Bang there. There's Dinky USS Enterprise. There was die-cast UFO shadow mobiles, a couple there of blister-packed ones. Very nice condition.
They were nice, yeah.
There were things like that. Other than that, very, very little.
Yeah, it was much more traditional, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Toy and train.
Yeah.
Even not so much of the modern sort of Hot Wheels this time round that we've seen previously at, say, West Point, for example. But there were stalls like this one here.
Yeah.
Had some really terrific stuff.
Yeah.
But also quite on the higher range of the price.
This chap's, I can't remember his name, he's from South Wales. And he always has a good selection of die-cast.
There was a Chipperfield booking office there.
Yeah.
Which is one that I wouldn't mind. But yeah, he had the gear, but it was expensive.
Yeah, quite expensive. Yeah.
But, there you go.
There's your Matchbox.
Yeah, I don't think I didn't buy any off this chap. They were just a bit too... They were like eBay prices rather than, say, Toy Fair prices.
Oh, right.
And with the Matchboxes, it seems cheaper to buy them at the shows. What some of them are making online now is just bananas money,
Yes.
They seem to really have gone up quite a bit in price.
There's modern die-cast. Still plenty of that around.
Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, there was a lot of farm stuff there today.
There was actually, yeah. Considering where it was.
Considering the venue.
Yeah.
Not too surprised, I suppose. But there was quite a lot today.
It's the modern Chipperfield stuff, yeah. They're quite nice, but it doesn't have the same appeal to me.
No.
If I was going to have any of it, it'd be the
They don't have
stuff.
that child pull, do they?
No, not at all.
No.
But if you got all that already, then it's a good way to continue the collection, I suppose.
Yeah.
And they did release stuff that never came out first time round.
And some nice old Corgi stuff.
Yeah, there was some terrific die casts there.
There were.
Bits for everyone, really, I think, you know. Dave, of course, you mentioned earlier on Toy Polloi, where he likes to buy old, loose, broken toys, and he fixes them up on his channel.
All right.
And there were 2 or 3 stores where I think there was lots of bits and pieces.
Yeah.
He might have found some bits that he needed, but I don't know overall what sort of day he had. But I believe he'll almost certainly be doing his own video of the show. So
all right, good.
We'll be able to see that one quite soon. So if you're not subscribed to Dave's channel, Toy Polloi, do go and look him up, because he will do his own take on this sort of show from his point of view, you know.
Yeah, there certainly was a lot of vintage diecast.
There was, yeah. I don't know why, if that's because, you know, more's come on the market, or what, really. And that is the first issue one, the Circus Models one.
Yeah.
Rather than saying Chipperfields, it just says Circus Models.
Oh, I see.
You know, yeah. So there's 6 models inside.
Yeah.
This guy was good. So he does all the acrylic cases. And I did, in the end, buy an odd Matchbox toy off him.
He just had a few there, didn't he?
He just had a handful. And when I spoke to him about it, he said the 60s Superfast, he's got the whole lot, every one, all boxed in his own personal
And they are
collection.
really holding their value.
It's the hottest area of Matchbox. And he knew, you could see he knew his subject really well.
Right.
That was quite nice. A couple of loose Yellow Submarine and the Popeye Paddle one.
Yeah.
And I'm assuming they're the original. They didn't look like the reissues.
Okay.
They did look original. So, but no prices on them, which is a shame. You know, so it's like, and that is a bugbear of mine. I hate it. They could easily put a little tag on, couldn't they? You know, just to show how much was on it. But lots of boxes like that. You know, 50p, £1, 150. You know, for beating up diecast, perfect for restorers.
Yeah.
If that's your hobby, you know, restoring old cars, brilliant for that.
And here's some more.
Yeah, there was no shortage of it. Every stall had some, by the look of it, you know.
Yeah, all sorts.
But pretty much, I did film, I think, virtually every stall that was there. Some had a bit more than others to see, of course.
Right.
But
there we go.
A fair bit of train stuff, as usual, really.
Yeah, again, like the diecast stores, mix of modern and vintage.
Yeah. Lots of little figures and things like that.
Yeah.
The diorama builders.
Yeah. Seemed to be more stall holders there today who took cards as well.
I noticed that, and we'll see it in the video. There's a few that made a point of it, saying, "We take cards."
Yeah.
It's like brilliant, you know. Yeah, that was quite. It was just a diorama. It was a really incredible diorama that someone had set up.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I see ones like that on the previous videos, and they do look good.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Even nice to see a few book stalls this time round with some.
A few, yeah.
Book stock. Don't usually see that. But we were having a quick chat with the. Or I was having a quick chat with the organiser of the fair.
All right.
On the way in with our friend Julian, and he said, new location, it's much cheaper for them to hire.
Yeah.
It's only £30 a stall for an exhibitor. So a lot of them had 2 stalls.
All right.
But just £30 a table, which isn't
That's
bad.
quite competitive.
Yeah, it's pretty good. That was odd. That was Stay Electrics and FHM magazine. I'm not sure what was happening there, you know.
Okay.
Nice, the big Mr. Stay Perfect.
Quite the twin obsession.
Yeah. But yeah, £30, a reasonable price, I thought, for a table.
Yeah.
Not bad at all, that. Worth dealers turning up for that,
Sure.
You would think.
Yeah, there were a few annuals dotted about.
Yeah, there were a few annuals, a few magazines, a few graphic novels and comics.
Yeah, not too much in the way of vintage comics at this one.
No.
Not much at all, to be honest. Our friend George did buy a few, with 1 or 2 other things. And we got He did get a 1950s jigsaw, actually.
All right.
Yeah, Mr. Turnip.
All right.
He's from the early 50s. He was on a BBC character, a puppet character from a BBC TV show called Whirligig. He was a character on that. He was a very nice, complete boxed jigsaw.
Nice.
And he did pick up a die-cast as well, which we'll get onto.
He did, yeah.
A bit
In
later.
our purchases at the end, yeah.
Well, we can talk about it when we see the store.
Oh, yeah, okay, good plan, yeah.
Yeah, but there wasn't, this is George of the Doctor Who video fame.
Yeah.
Obviously, he really focuses on TV-related items, and die-cast apart, there wasn't much of that.
No, certainly. This still had some quite good stuff. I bought 3 box Matchbox off this guy and 3 off the chap at the end. And it was nice to get some boxed ones this time round, and a handful of loose.
Yeah, I think this was the stall he bought the jigsaw off.
All right, yeah. Good little mix of stuff.
He does. He was interested in odds and sods. Yeah. Again, another store with a real mixture of items.
Yeah. There was that Matchbox catalogue I ended up buying.
Yeah.
£5, mate, he said. £5. I said, all right, mate.
Can get it out fast enough, could you?
Well, I still ummed and ahed because my other ones are so nice.
Oh, right.
But because it was so early, I thought I'm going to take a chance for a £5. And we've looked at it. It does go a bit more than that.
And the year was
1961.
61, yeah.
Yeah, so the earliest one by far I've got.
This guy had a lot of old stuff.
Yeah, he did. It wasn't
Britain's Cherry Lee.
That looks like it's had a tumble in the car.
It does a bit. Yeah, it was a bit ramshackle, but he had some interesting things. He had a clockwork Pinky and Perky in his cabinet.
Oh wow!
Which we might see if you pan up in a second.
I don't remember seeing that.
Yeah,
I think he may have had a Muffin the Mule. Was that the same store?
Could be. Yeah, it was briefly in the shot just now. The Pinky and Perky. I've not seen those before, but they've seemed to be sort of fabric and felt. Yeah, they weren't plastic. There we go. More die-cast. The James Bond rubber bands there, and the knockoff rubber bands still turning up.
Yeah,
been turning up since the 90s.
Yeah, the warehouse
still around. Yeah. Not a licensed item, folks.
Yeah.
But nice box, quite fun.
Yeah, that's that Dinky work, I think.
Oh yeah,
those more modern ones. Yeah. And those were
they
Matchbox repro boxes,
yeah.
£1 each. They were.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like them. I'm not a fan of repro boxes.
No.
They just don't look right to me.
There was very little in the way of sort of, gum cards or anything like that as usual. Although somebody did have a set of Space 1999 gum cards, the American set.
Oh, that's unusual. For Exeter.
Yeah.
A few stores with Lego on this time round, I noticed. And one store, we'll see it in a minute, had some space Lego.
Oh, really?
Which was really the first time I think I've ever seen it, but nothing boxed. So I might have been interested, but they had complete models with the booklets, and they looked all right. But the prices was on point, and I've sort of packed all my Lego up. I've got nowhere for it. So it's just all in a box, sadly, in the loft. But I still love looking at it. It was nice to see it out. Yeah.
So what year is that, the space?
It's sort of 78.
70s?
Yeah, 77, 78. Mm-hmm. It kicks in. In fact, that set just to your right there,
yes, another one.
Was the first one I ever got.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it rolled on for 10 years about.
All right.
And came back with the movie recently, the Lego movie.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think these sort of slightly haphazard stores are just private sellers. They're just having a little clear up.
Yeah.
Here it is. Speaking of the Lego space, it was nice to see them.
Yeah.
And they were well presented like that. That's about as good as you're going to get.
Sort
of those green ones there are the later ones, which I never got into.
Right.
The first few, that strictly blue and grey and white, where they were the ones I had as a kid,
Yeah. Well, let's see.
Yeah, they're nice. And then they had some of the early castle stuff, which once again is quite nice, and knights. But it was all about what the stuff sells for online, you know. But, it's still nice to see. It's the sort of stuff you want to see.
Yeah,
I think our friend Mark would have found a few bits today if he'd have been able to come along. Our friend.
I don't remember seeing a stall.
He
does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I don't remember seeing a stall quite like that at West Point before.
No. There's some good stuff there. If Lego is your bag.
Indeed.
That's the other side of it.
Oh, right.
Loads of loose figures.
Loads of minifigures. Yeah, there was a couple of stalls with lots of minifigures.
Yeah.
Some quite.
Sam's still got that, the mini tourist game. It's really rare.
Yeah.
It's actually quite scary. He's got a lovely copy of it as well.
Yeah.
It goes for about £35 or something.
Yeah, there was a stall just by the door as you came in which had some stuff. And
there's a beauty set there. I've got some more books, and that's a bit of a mixture of a stall. He had some records, and did George go through those?
He may well have done.
Yeah, see if there's anything worth having, but unlikely to be any bargain prices, I don't think.
Probably not.
But he had a few card sets, didn't he, this guy, as well?
Yeah, I think he had a few little ones,
Yeah. Yeah, well, those cigarette cards, were they?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But nothing too special from what you saw,
No, I did have a quick look, but not really.
You cast your expert eye over Andy.
Expert glance, yeah.
Didn't see a lot of Doctor Who stuff this time round.
No.
Very little.
Not even...
That was one of the few bits I saw.
Not even Modern Who.
No.
No, there wasn't.
Very little.
Sometimes you see a lot, but not this one.
No.
The stall had something unusual. It was a Snoopy fast food set, but in a special display box, quite large, shaped like Snoopy's doghouse. The red doghouse.
Oh yeah, I did see that.
Yeah,
I think it must have gone because I didn't see it there later on.
Yeah,
I did see it when I first came in.
Yeah,
I had a vague glance at it, but I didn't film it. I
didn't ask the price or anything, but they're quite nice. The display ones that they do. I've got one for the Beano figures that they did from characters from the Beano comic. Nice. It's like a school desk. It opens up and it's got the loose figures inside. I do have that one.
Cool.
But I've never seen the Snoopy one before.
No.
Oh, nice.
Well, thank you to my Patreon and channel members for supporting our efforts. Much appreciated, guys and girls.
There you go, more moderns.
Yeah. An unusual store with all
ships,
wasn't it? It looks like he'd sold some. There were some gaps.
Maybe so.
So it looks like a few are gone, but very, very specialist. That.
Yeah, I don't know what they make.
Never seen that before.
They're Minic or I don't know.
Yeah, warships.
Mishmash again.
Yeah.
Old and new. Yeah, but the vintage diecast, they're the box ones. They weren't very competitive prices. They were pretty much all the going rate.
That's right.
Of the ones we saw.
And if you're going to pay that, you want them to be absolutely top condition, and generally they're not. I looked at a lot of Matchbox today to find a few really top shape ones.
Yeah, but a lot of them had issues.
I'd rather not have them unless they're priced just a pound or two more than a loose one, and then I'll pick them up and not display the box.
Yeah,
I'm actually after that commerce set there.
It's a nice set, that.
But I've seen mint ones online for 55, and that was 110.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's way too much.
It's not that rare a set.
No, it's not. No.
Of the box sets, the gift sets. I'm
going to keep my eyes peeled for it. If I find a nice one for 60 or less, I'm going to grab it.
It's not that scarce.
No, just because I love the commerce shaped van.
Yes, it's a great fun set.
Yeah,
great idea. They were very inventive.
I would like to get one of those.
Yeah.
It's getting some good quality stuff on that stall.
Yeah.
And even they're loose, you can see it's good quality.
Yeah.
But price to match, unfortunately, I don't think I bought anything off there because it was a bit pricey.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, everything I did buy, and I don't know about yourself, but I got a bit knocked off. Pretty much.
Yes.
They were all open to offers.
Revel Babylon
Yeah, no,
5.
he had a little sign on that saying eBay 135, my price 75. Well, yeah, they are rare, but it wasn't exactly mint. But
Nah.
it was. Those old B5 kits are scarce, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
In fact, any Babylon 5 stuff is getting scarce.
Yeah. Yeah. But yes, a few items I did buy. I didn't buy a lot. Nothing big ticket. But yeah, everybody made a little deal on, apart from things that were really, something I bought was just £2.
Yeah.
But yeah, they will do deals. Yeah, and our friend
Which
George,
is good.
the die-cast he bought, he got some bit knocked off, so it was all good.
That's good. That's all you want, it's that sort of wheeler dealer sort of buying and selling. You want a little bit of discount, and discount for cash, mate. Yeah. You see boxes and boxes of loose cars. I ain't got time to go through them all, And usually they're just hammered. I don't know who would buy them, unless at West Point we've seen the real young kids go through. Yeah. They're in heaven. Yeah, there's a tenner to spend. That's 10 cars.
Yeah.
Fantastic for them, but. From a collector's point of view, perhaps not. They were quite good. I almost picked up that spot-on book. It was only like £7.
Yeah,
just out of reference.
Yeah, I've got the big spot-on book.
Yeah,
which is excellent.
Yeah, I bet.
That was cool.
And we saw one of them last time, didn't we?
Yeah,
We've seen them occasionally.
They pop up occasionally. The
Magic Roundabout.
Yeah, very inventive Corgi item.
Scale Electrics. There's a bit of that there, wasn't there, this time?
Yeah, pretty battered 1960s
hammered,
box.
Hammered.
Yeah, I did have one as a kid in that box as well.
Really?
Don't think it was quite that set, but
no, I only ever had the two minis, the mini set.
Oh yeah,
that's all I had. It was a really small set, but it was all right. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, they were fun. You got lots more train stuff.
He had some quite good stuff, that store, but I wouldn't say it was a bit pricey.
Was it?
But interesting stuff.
Yeah.
And there was a woman actually, and she said it was all her original stuff from when she was a kid. Lots of cheap Rupert annuals.
Yeah.
I thought.
Yeah. Kind of wish she'd got those now. Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I'd spent the time to go through them perhaps a little bit better to see what they were like inside, because to be honest, they were cheap.
Yeah.
£5 to £10 an issue. But they weren't the 60s ones with the magic paintings, they were pre that.
Right.
And they're slightly more common. And the 30s ones had massive print runs, so they're surprisingly common.
Yes.
And they came with dust wrappers, which none of those had, so.
That's the only other Babylon 5 stuff I saw. One of the figures. Don't know what he was asking for them. Can't remember now.
I think they were 25 each.
Really?
Yeah, 25 a pop.
Remember buying all those when you had them in the shop?
Yeah.
Still got them somewhere.
Yeah, 25 a pop.
Yes, Nick
Milford. Making a cameo.
Indeed, yes. I bought a couple of things off him.
We all had stuff off this guy.
I bought a couple of little items off him.
Yeah.
And our friend George bought a Prisoner Mini-Moke.
Ah, yes, indeed, yeah. And I bought 3 Matchbox. Matchbox.
Yeah.
I could have easily bought another 3.
Yeah.
His prices were going to need, like you say, he gave a bit of discount.
Yes.
So it seemed like a decent price.
But
cheaper than online by a long way.
He had a couple of Prisoner Mini-Mokes, Dinky ones.
He did, yeah.
There's the boxed one there, just in the bottom right corner. That's the one our friend George bought. He had another loose one as well, which wasn't as good.
So you've got one. George has got one. I'm going to try and get one day. I do like the Prisoner.
Yeah, that was lovely condition. The
one that George bought.
Yeah. The thing to look for with it, apart from what sort of paint job it's got, because the toy was available for about 4 years from 68 onwards, and the further on in time you got from 1968, the lesser the paint job. The more complete paint jobs are the earlier ones. But this was an early one, and it had the all-important cover to the spare wheel on the back, which is a little plastic spare wheel cover, which is notoriously hard to find
on its own.
On its own, and this was in really nice condition, not cracked. They're prone to cracking. This was a really nice one. George was.
I'm glad it's a real key piece to get. If you collect TV and film die-casts,
he did well in getting that one. It was well worth it.
Yeah, it's good. Certainly, it's one sort of on my casual list of ones I'd like to get at some point.
Yeah.
A bit of vintage Star Wars, not a lot this time, I didn't think, but this store had a fair bit.
Yeah.
I think the prices are on point. I mean, there was a big Star Wars dedicated fair just a few weeks back, so anyone who had any left probably sold it at that.
Maybe so.
Thing,
Maybe so. Yeah. Just going back briefly to the Prisoner Mini Moke. And there isn't much in terms of packaging for it. It's just a little box. It's just basically a reworked item that they already had on sale, but there's no McGowan on the box or anything like that.
No.
He wouldn't allow his likeness to be used to sell anything like that.
Right. So it just says the Mini Moke from the Prisoner.
Yeah, and it's got
a scene in the Prisoner.
The artwork on it is kind of a bit like The Village.
Originally
they wanted to do something with a little figure of him and have his his picture on it, but he wouldn't have it.
Have him in a blazer sort of thing.
No, he wouldn't.
Yeah, what a shame.
He wouldn't go for it. He attended a meeting at I think it was Century 21 Marketing, the Jerry Anderson business, because they handled some other ITC stuff. He attended a meeting at the offices, and they said to him, we'd like to do this and that, and then they were going to do a Prisoner comic strip, which I think would probably be in TV Tornado comic, and they said, we'd like to do an action figure as well, sort of kind of like the Captain Scarlet ones and the Thunderbirds ones from the 60s, Action Man size. At which point he got up and said, I'm not going to be a dolly, and walked out of the room. And that was the end of that.
And that was
that's why you don't see his merchandise, his likeness on any merchandising.
Fair enough.
No.
Fair enough.
He wasn't having it.
Well, as we close in on the last few minutes of the video, Andy, as a first stab for Matford, then, what do you think? Because it was their first go at that venue.
Yeah, okay, for a first stab. There was... we like, the TV and film stuff. That wasn't around much at all.
No.
It was disappointing in that aspect. But it was... It was
still stuff to look at. There was people to see to and a few familiar faces to say hello to.
Yeah, for sure.
Which was good. First go. So hopefully, people will watch this video. They know it's cheap, only 30 quid a stall.
Yeah.
And the bodies were there. There was people turning up.
Yes, it was busy.
So you will have an audience. If you're at least reasonably priced, you'll do business, I think is probably the way to look at it. For something like Dave, our friend Toy Ploy, I don't know what sort of a day he would have had if there was much in his line there, loose figures and stuff. Only his video will tell us, I guess, when we get to watch it. But I was pleased with it, and it is not that far away from where we live, so it's easy to get to.
That's right, yeah. I got a few little items, not much, which we'll see shortly.
Yeah, we'll have a look at our stuff in a minute. So for me, it was really just, I think, 6-box Matchbox and 4 loose.
Yeah.
The old Jim Clark paperback.
Yes.
Which I was pleased with. I've got the first. It was a reprint, but it's a revised reprint. It's a different edition.
Yeah.
And Dave gave me a copy of his book as well, which is really good.
Yeah.
A signed copy of his book,
that's nice.
Which I was pleased with.
That was just Julian's store.
That was Julian. Yeah, I realised I hadn't filmed him, so he did have quite a bit of bits and pieces, Action Man bits. So I think Dave would have had some stuff off him.
Julian of Final Frontier, the shops in
Plymouth,
Plymouth and Exeter.
Yeah. And
here's our bits and pieces.
Here's our haul. There's my few Matchbox bits. Oh, the Silver Jubilee carded bust. That was quite nice.
Yeah.
That's the first carded one I've got.
Is it?
You got that little
plastic television. Yeah, a little 60s plastic television, which you turn a knob and it turns a film strip, which is Bugs Bunny, black and white Bugs Bunny.
Cool.
Yeah, that wasn't very expensive.
That's the Max Rebo that I swapped with Dave because mine was really faded and he had a dyed one.
Yeah.
So it's going to go in my cabinet.
Just behind that is a Swap It Knight in Armour, which I got. Do you like those? And a little sooty. A little sooty figure. Yeah, it's Kellogg's one. Yeah, Kellogg's one, which I got for a friend of mine.
That's cool.
The book there, the 50p price guide, is for a friend of mine as well, about 50p coins. And the Britain's karate figures.
That's lovely, isn't it? Yeah.
Kung Fu karate figures.
Oh, brilliant stuff. So that was our combined haul, and our friend George got the Mini Moke. So we didn't do bad, really. All things considered, did we? We didn't do bad.
We picked up our bits. It was worth it.
Yeah, I was pleased. It was a good day out, as they say.
Uh-huh.
So there you go. So I hope you've enjoyed looking through our little footage of the Exeter
Matford
Centre video. I forgot what it was then.
Yeah.
If you've enjoyed the video, do please, of course, hit the thumbs up. Do please subscribe if you're not already, and do check out the previous toy videos here on the channel where Andy and I talk about visiting the previous fairs. Thanks for watching today, and I'll see you again very soon. Bye.
Bye.